Hey, it's me, Nalthazar, and welcome to another Magic the Gathering Puzzle Quest video. In today's video, I'm going to be going over what it is that has been spoiled for Kaldheim, the upcoming set in Magic, and how I think that will translate to Puzzle Quest. So, let's get into it. The first things that caught my eye from the spoiler were the new Planeswalkers that we're going to be getting, along with Pathways and some of the other cards that we'll be looking forward to. So with the Pathways, we have these currently in Puzzle Quest. They're all those dual color landforming lands. They're 9 mana, they're uncommons. And so with the rest of the Pathways coming out in Kaldheim, that means that we're just finishing up the cycle. That means that we'll have every color combination. However, the one thing that really stuck out to me about these ones is just how gorgeous the art on these are. I mean, like, oh my goodness, look at these things. Like the Tide Channel Pathway or the red versions, right? With that volcano right here. Look at this. Look at that Seer Step Pathway. Oh man, whoever they've got doing the art for these things is like just A+. Look at that. The Dark Boar Pathway right there and the Mistgate Pathway. Just absolutely gorgeous. Honestly, like this little Slitherboar pathway and the Hengegate pathway are sort of like, to me. But the others are just gorgeous. So what you can look forward to is there's this blue-white one over here. We've got green-black coming also. We've got red-black coming. We've got blue-green. And I feel like I'm missing one. There should be 5. But yeah, so there should be 5 new pathways. So there's 5 from the previous set, and then there's going to be 5 from the upcoming set. Then after the Pathways, the next thing that caught my eye is that we've got Sagas coming back. So that seems to fit with the whole like Viking theme to me. So having some Sagas should be pretty cool. Hopefully we get some interesting ones. The only saga that is currently spoiled that I know of is this Showdown of the Skalds. Supposedly Skalds means bard, so this is like Showdown of the Bards. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments, but I think it means Showdown of the Bards. And so for this one in Paper Magic, you're going to exile the top 4 cards of your library, and then until end of turn, you may play those cards. And then for the other 2 abilities, it's just going to happen back to back. So for Paper Magic, when you cast a spell, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. For Puzzle Quest, I imagine it'll be something like Prowess. So whenever you cast a spell, buff your first creature +1/+1 or something. For Paper Magic, this seems substandard. For Puzzle Quest, this also seems pretty substandard also. Like, I mean, the first ability might wind up being like we can draw cards or something, at which point maybe it'll have some selective use, but unless this gets a significant rework for Puzzle Quest, I don't see it being a great card. The next one is Pyre of the Heroes. Pyre of the Heroes is kind of like a tribal birthing pod, for those of you who have encountered birthing pod or played, Paper Magic around that time. So it's going to be a 2 mana artifact. So in Puzzle Quest, this is going to be an artifact support. And then in Paper Magic, you pay 2 colorless and tap sacrifice a creature. Search your library for a creature that shares a creature type with the sacrificed creature and has converted mana cost equal to 1 plus that creature's converted mana cost. So a mana cost that is just 1 higher than whatever you sacrificed, put it on the battlefield and shuffle your library. Activate this ability only anytime you could activate a sorcery. Now in Puzzle Quest, my guess is that this is going to function either sort of like Prime Speaker Vannifar or like Enigmatic Incarnation. So you'll see both of those on the screen. Vannifar creates activate gems, and then you lose non-token creature reinforcements, and then fetch creatures from your library that cost more and put them on the battlefield. And then Enigmatic Incarnation is a may trigger at the end of each turn, where you may destroy something in order to get something. So I see this in Puzzle Quest being something like at the end of your turn or at the beginning of your turn or whatever, you may destroy a creature you control. If you do, fetch the first creature that has of the same type that has a higher mana cost and put it onto the battlefield. So this could be really interesting depending on how it reads in Puzzle Quest, but definitely could be pretty cool. And then if we scroll all the way to the bottom here, we've got to look at two of what will likely be our exclusives, right? So in Puzzle Quest, we've had lately all of the commander decks that have come out parallel to the set have come out as exclusives in Puzzle Quest. And so we've got Raynar the Ever Watchful and Larhill Blade of the Elves. So let's go ahead, open these up as tabs, and take a look at what they do in text form so that, that's like crazy blurry over here. Look at this. It's like 4 mana for 2, maybe 3 flying vigilance. So yeah, it's a 2/3 flying vigilance. The first card you exile each turn costs a snow mana to foretell. Whenever you exile one or more cards from your hand and or permanents from the battlefield, create a 1/1 spirit creature token with flying. So this is kind of cool for paper. It means that we're going to be getting snow mana back, and I think that's perfect for Vikings, like having the whole like snow covered lands thing coming back. I actually really like the idea of the snow covered lands. I think that's kind of fun. I would love it if we had like more variations of lands in future Magic sets. I think that could be really interesting, and I'd be interested to see how they would implement something like that for Puzzle Quests, right? Like maybe it would activate gems, kind of like Energize or something. I don't know. But the first card you exile each turn costs something to foretell. We don't know what foretell does yet. I wonder if it's like some kind of scry. I don't know. But whenever you exile cards from your hand or permanents from the battlefield, create spirit tokens is going to be a pretty basic, easy sort of swap to Puzzle Quest. So this is just probably going to be something like whenever you exile a card from anywhere, you get a spirit token on the battlefield. So if you exile cards from your hand, which is way easier in Puzzle Quest than it is in Paper Magic, you get a token for it. So you can turn any card that you don't want from your hand into a token. And then as for when you exile things from the battlefield, if you use something like Thassa or the rare Teferi Vanguard or something like that, it'll work for flicker effects. I would imagine that because this here is the commander for this deck, that we're going to be seeing some kind of flicker for the set, especially because we have Kaya as one of the Planeswalkers. Spoiler! But no, really. So having that flicker means that we'll probably have a bunch of ways of generating a bunch of spirit tokens. Spirit tokens aren't super powerful in Puzzle Quest right now. We don't have a spirit leader either to put them on things. But nonetheless, depending on how this card gets translated in full, it could be cool, right? The other commander, so this is probably going to be the other mythic exclusive for the commander set, is an elf. So it's 4 mana for a 2/3 with menace. And then when Larhill Blade of the Elves deals combat damage to a player, create that many 1/1 green elf warrior creature tokens in Puzzle Quest. That's going to be terrifying. Think of this as basically like a Papa Krenko, but like better, because Papa Krenko was, when Papa Krenko attacks, put goblin tokens onto the battlefield equal to its power. But because this one is when it deals combat damage to a player, that means that if you give this thing double strike, that it's going to be able to make tokens for both of those attacks. So this will probably have the ability to make even more tokens. And while sadly we do not currently have an elf leader in standard, right? Just elf leader. We have one in Puzzle Quest, but we just don't have one in standard. We do actually have a warrior leader in standard. So having that warrior leader is going to be like super fantastic for this, right? We've got that Kargan war leader. So each of those little tokens is going to come out as a 3/3 instead of a 1/1. And then it's also got a tap 10 untapped elves you control. Each opponent loses 10 life and you gain 10 life. I would imagine that there will be some kind of, because this is a tap in Puzzle Quest, that typically transfers to activated gems. So it'll be like an activate some number of gems. Your opponent loses life and you gain life equal to the number of elf and elf reinforcements you control. I could see it being something like that, right? So nonetheless, this one I think actually could be an incredibly powerful card in Puzzle Quest, depending on how the developers choose to make it. But yeah, this one could be like crazy strong, right? So that really does it for the cards that we know. But then we've got this beautiful stuff right over here. So we've got the Kaldheim art and packaging spoilers. And I've got to say, I mentioned this with the pathways, but the art for this set is just so nice. I love so many of the little paintings that we've got here. So we'll get into some of those, right? So the first thing is we've got some Kaldheim Planeswalkers. We don't know what it is that they're going to be yet, but we got this Nico Aris Planeswalker right here. To me, this looks kind of Nahiri-ish. So, I mean, I think it's probably going to have like some kind of red. Maybe it's red-white. Maybe we get another American Walker, or as Enzo from my coalition keeps saying, it's French. But yeah, we might have another red, white, and blue Walker coming. Over here, we've got what looks to be another Elven Planeswalker in Tyvar Kell as a Kaldheim Planeswalker. So that could be pretty cool. This is almost assuredly going to be green. So maybe it'll be mono green, maybe it'll be green something else. We don't know. Same thing with Nico Aris, but nonetheless, having two entirely new Planeswalkers is going to be pretty sweet, right? It's nice to have some fresh blood. Now, for the rest of the art, this is just art for the set, so they're going to be on cards, they're going to be on packaging, but we don't know exactly what the card is that they're going to be for. But I mean, if you take a look at it, like look at this thing, look at this, look at how beautiful this is, right? You've got like all these Viking ships in the water, and then you've got like this sword and the serpent sort of like coming after it. Like, it's whoever they enlisted to do this just did phenomenal work. Here we've got like this sort of snow-covered waterfall, right? Or like snowy terrain with a waterfall, probably for like some kind of land or something. Same deal over here. This might even be for like a snow-covered forest or a snow-covered mountain, right? Here for the forest, here for the mountain, or something. I don't know. I think they're pretty. I think they're super pretty. We've got this tree, right? This mythical tree. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so it's not as pixelated, but look at that. I love that, right? We've got more snowy terrain stuff going with runes. We've got this beautiful sort of like, I don't know, bear person thing. Jason A. Engel. You've done a fantastic job. Look at that. This dude is just so cool. It's like this like dwarf machination lava monster guy. So I love this. I love how they make the lava, or yeah, this is lava because it's touching the air. But yeah, this is gorgeous. Gorgeous. Here we've got like a Cthulhu Viking berserker thing, right? Some kind of Lovecraftian form of it. Look at this. Like, Vikings normally have like beards and stuff, but this is like Davy Jones tentacles coming out of his face or something. This is maybe Kiora's husband right here. Look at this guy. Yeah, they'd get along, I think. Yeah, definitely. Over here we got more of like the human look. We got like the lightning, like sort of like Thor kind of dealio. This guy in the back looks much more Viking to me than this person over here, but you know, whatever. And then we've got our first look at Kaya. So Kaya is coming back in Kaldheim. Kaya is probably going to be another red-black walker. Maybe Kaya has added a color, but my guess is red-black. I mentioned it in Discord, but my hope for Kaya is that she'll be a flicker planeswalker in Puzzle Quest. I would love it if her third ability at the final level, right at rank 4, was cards your opponents control lose hexproof, and then at the beginning of your turn or at the end of your turn, either way, I don't particularly care, exile target creature, and then if that creature is yours, return it to the battlefield with all of its reinforcements. So it would serve kind of like Teferi, Hero of Dominaria's third ability, in that every turn you could like exile something. But if it's your opponent's, it's gone forever. You just exile it, right? And if it's yours, then you just get to freely flicker it. So it would give you a whole bunch of utility. It would make it so that Kaya would be something that you'd be able to use for like any set's cards. So it'd be nice to have a a white-black planeswalker that was just, you could use it for like anything instead of the very specific use that Kaya currently has in Puzzle Quest, or he who must not be named Garbage Soren, right? So that would be kind of cool. But yeah, we've got another Kaya coming. If you're wondering what I meant by like the sort of like heavy metal sort of dealio, right? So this is going to be from the collector's booster box. So you'll see that we've got like this sort of heavy metal art theme look going. You'll see it on the packaging down below as I scroll down a little bit more. But this is going to be what is going to be on the full art cards, right? So yeah, you see like the Kaldheim Collector's Booster. And if we look at the box, right, you can see that sort of art there. And then although it wasn't on the art up above, if we zoom in really closely, you'll see that we've got like this little druid dude, elder dude or something, probably like, I don't know, it's a Viking theme booster, so probably some kind of like elder Viking, maybe some kind of legendary dude or something. We've got this over here, whatever this is. It's really hard to see. Like, I would guess that it's antlers on a pole or dragon thing. I don't know. There's a person right here, maybe. It's hard to say. But we got Kaya over there on the left. But nonetheless, this is what we know so far for Kaldheim. As more things come out, if you want me to cover the cards and how I think they're going to come out in Puzzle Quest, the art and all that kind of stuff, basically if you like this video, please let me know in the comments section, as I haven't done a video like this in the past, but I always follow like what's current in Paper Magic, and I am continually thinking of how it's going to get implemented in Puzzle Quest. It's just something that I do, so I figured my channel is on Magic, I would just sort of post that and you guys would let me know what you think. So thank you so much for watching, as always, and I'll see you in the next one.